everyone, my name is Me. It's written like my in English but pronounced like me in Vietnamese. Welcome to my vlog. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Local Entrepreneur series. The Local Entrepreneurs is a talk show where I interview the local entrepreneurs, give them the space to tell about their story, their drive, their failures, and their success on the way they build up their business. And I'm very happy today with me is Marijke.
Yes, Marika.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
I totally get it. This is a very common Dutch name and it's very hard to pronounce.
Yeah, it's very hard to pronounce. But maybe the best way is that you can tell the audience and do a little bit introduction about yourself and tell them the correct way to pronounce your name.
Yes. For English speakers, my name is very difficult. It's Marijke. My name is Marijke Reed. I'm half British, half English actually.
Mm-hmm.
And my father thought it was really exotic to have the name Marijke. I'm a yoga and meditation teacher in Eindhoven. I'm actually like a very down-to-earth yoga teacher, and I really like to get people acquainted with yoga and meditation in a very easy and down-to-earth way. So what I do is I host yoga and meditation events in different ways so that people can get in touch with yoga. So I use boot camps and paddleboarding retreats, workshops and events to get people in touch with yoga and a happy and healthier lifestyle.
You know, one of the way that I knew about her because I joined one of the events that Marika hosted, and I have to say I enjoyed it a lot, and I saw her energy, I saw her dedication in the way that she worked. Yeah, it just triggered my interest, like, hey, I want to get her into this show. Yes. And after that event I was very curious about you, and then I came back home and I did some Google.
You stalked me, your internet stalked me.
Yeah, but I read a very nice story about her on her website. I think the story is just very personal, has so many personal touch in that, and somehow, even though it's not my story, but I feel so much related. Want you to share, like, what did bring you to yoga, and what did bring you to this whole journey of become a yoga instructor? Definitely not something she chose to be at first, right?
No.
You never know. You actually never knew that you're gonna become a yoga instructor.
Definitely not. Even after I did my educations, I didn't think that I would ever be where I'm at right now. I think the journey itself has been very long for me, but I would say that it goes all the way back to when I was a teenager, and I was already very interested in, you know, spirituality. What is this meaning in life? What are we doing here? Like asking more deep questions. So I was always like following my intuition and thinking, you know, what is the meaning of life? And especially, which I also share on my website, is that I didn't have a very easy life growing up. I moved around more than 20 times before I was the age of 20.
Wow.
And I have international background with, you know, family and friends spread out over the world.
It is in a way by moving a lot like that, and also grew up in such an international environment, you question yourself where you belong, right?
Exactly. I didn't really know who I was and where I would belong, because even in my name, which is Marijke Reed, there's two different sides, you know. There's a Dutch side, there's the English side, and I was living in Germany actually growing up, so it was three different parts about myself. So I think that is what sparked the journey, and I think many people relate to that in a way. You know, you're always trying to figure out about who you are and what do you want in life.
I think that's the most difficult question: who I am, what I want to do. Because some point in your life you want to be an A, but some point in your life you want to be an B. And then you kind of feel guilty because, hey, I used to want to be an A. Now why I want to be the B, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think what for me was the interest behind that is also like, why do I want to be that person or that person, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it just took me a very long process to try and figure out, am I an A, am I a B, am I both, you know, what type of person am I?
How about you share the journey of you went on traveling, and then from that path you slowly figure it out?
Yeah. When I was studying, you know, I had some issues with my health, and I just started to think, like, how can I be 23 years old and be sick? Like really exhausted physically, going to the hospital, people telling me that I'm healthy when I didn't feel like that. And I started going into more alternative practices and looking into yoga and meditation. And that's when I first, which was when I was about 21, 22, first started really going into what is yoga, what is meditation, and how does this help. And I didn't really do much serious with it, but then when I finished my degree, I just wanted to get away from here, and I wanted to go and travel and see the world. And I ended up traveling through Thailand, Australia, and New Zealand. And over there, and especially in Australia, yoga was really booming, hot and happening. So I first, you know, started thinking, oh, you know, all these people on the beach doing yoga, what is this? And I started also doing yoga.
So that was the very first practice that you have with yoga.
And more consistent as well. Yeah.
Okay.
And I still didn't want to do anything about it, but I ended up on my way traveling back at a silent meditation retreat with Buddhist monks in Thailand.
In Thailand? Oh, wow. And then you fascinated?
Well, it was the hardest period of my life. It was really awful, and it was so awful because I never had meditated more than 10 minutes. And then I had to meditate like 6 hours a day.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was really hard. It was not easy. And at one point, one of the Buddhist monks, he came up to me and he was like, are you sure you want to continue the retreat? Because it looks like you are having a lot of problems. Do you not want to leave, you know? And at that point, one of the other people at the retreat, he was a yoga teacher, and he said to me, you know, I'm going to help you every morning when we get up. I will do yoga with you, and every evening I will do yoga with you, so that my body would not be in so much pain, and I would have more peace to sit.
So you get used to it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's a brave decision.
Yeah, and that guy completely inspired me, and I came back and I thought, I want to know what this guy knows, and I started studying yoga. Yeah. And at that time, this was 2012, I still didn't know or want to do anything with it. I just wanted to know what he knew.
Yeah. So that was your first part with yoga.
Exactly.
And I know the story still continues.
It is a very long story, so I'll try to sum it up a little bit shorter, but I think it took a couple of years that I already started doing more yoga, and then I started traveling actually even more. And I followed you know, my interests, and went to India, where I also did more yoga and got more deeper into the practice of yoga. And then I fell in love.
Okay.
And I fell in love in India, and it was someone who was living in Denmark. And I went and followed this person to Denmark, and I ended up there for 3 years. But unfortunately, the relationship didn't last, but that was okay. But I got stuck in an office job. And I was always a free spirit, you know, like working free and working with yoga, meditation, more in the service of people. Yeah. And then I got stuck in an office job, which I like, but I just realized,
not for you.
Not for me, you know.
What did yoga really help you in that journey?
Oh, yoga really helped me a lot in my life. It has made me live a much more conscious and healthy lifestyle, very much more conscious of my thoughts and what patterns I have, and especially you know, in terms of what I believe in myself, what I believe in the world, and starting to question, is this true or not? And it begins with the physical body, because at first my body was giving a lot of signals that I was ignoring, you know, stress and symptoms of this. And then I started listening to my body, and then once the body was a bit more calm, I started listening to my mind through meditation. And over the years, and it took a little while, and here I am now, I have been able to use what I've learned and make my business and my career out of it.
I think for me, also another reason I would like to bring you to the audience, because I just have learned during the quarantine, during this whole very challenging time of the whole world, I actually started to do more meditation. I just started to do more things, let's say a little bit more spiritual, in a sense that really make me feel calm and less conscious about yourself. It helped me. And if we look at your story, it helps you a lot. And because at some point I think yoga really become a hype, you know, where everyone just like, oh, let's do yoga. I even forced myself, I think a few years ago, like I have to do it. But when you tell to yourself you have to do it, then maybe it doesn't work out. And it didn't work out for me a few years ago. This time I feel like I wanted to do it. I wanted to meditate. I wanted to know more about what my body actually doing and what my mind is thinking. And
I think you're right about the hype. Because I think also if something has a truth to it or it has value, then obviously it will become a hype and it will become popular, because in a way there is something very good about yoga, and yoga has become popular because it has been helping people a lot in their journey. But I do agree with you that it comes in your time when you're ready for it.
Definitely.
And it also, there's so many different types of yoga out there, and I think that's the hardest part, is to find something that fits for you. And you could have been doing yoga and it might have been very physically oriented, or it might have been very mentally oriented, and whatever you did. And also for the people out there, they might try one yoga and it just at that time doesn't really match what you need.
So the lesson here is it should be the right time and the right method, and maybe with the right instructor. Right.
Definitely try my dance classes, but I definitely think that it takes a lot of trial and error, and I also don't think that yoga in a way is going to immediately change your life. You know,
that's the thing. I have that idea in my head before, like, come on. I want to feel calm, I do it, and then I feel calm immediately. Then it's not, that's how it works.
That's what I teach with my meditation challenge that I host, actually. I teach people to start meditation and integrate that in their life in a very small way. And what I say is that you don't go to the gym and you start lifting 100 kilo weights immediately. You start very small. So I start with 8 minutes a day meditations in the morning. And you start to build it up. And of course, in the beginning, it's not really meditation. It's more listening to your breath, becoming mindful. But eventually you build that up and it becomes part of a lifestyle. And when it becomes part of a lifestyle, that is when you start to see changes. But that takes some time, it takes dedication. And not in the beginning, you will be enlightened, or even now, I still struggle with a lot of things. And I use yoga and meditation to become more aware. Where is this coming from? How can I deal with that in a more positive way?
And another thing that I find really interesting for your story is that it takes a long time. It took you a long time to finally find out, and finally to take such a courage, right? To start on what you really love doing. I think as an entrepreneur, people always very driven. And when they set the goals, they really go for it and they want to get it now. But with your stories, I feel like it teach a lot of people out there a lesson that everything takes time.
I think we compare ourselves too much in this society, and I think that's what withheld me from going into the yoga world, because there's so much out there. Like you said, it's a hype. There's so many yoga teachers. Why would people be interested in me?
Why people are interested in your yoga class?
These are questions I ask myself. And is yoga really a profession? Can I make my money? Is it not hard work? I definitely had all of those questions. And the thing is that for some it will become a career, and for others it won't. And I think that is with everything. And we look a lot at people in who are already there. And if I compare myself to other yoga teachers, if I were to compare myself to that, then I would never start making this step. And it's what I did for years.
I could relate to it. I could feel that. And I believe if you really do what you love, make the pupil love what you do, for sure you're gonna find the audience that you want to attract.
Yes.
For sure there's so many yoga teachers out there, so many yoga instructors out there, but a lot of people are gonna read your story.
Yeah.
A lot of people are gonna come to you because they find your values match their values.
Yeah,
and
that's what I noticed as well over the years that I've been teaching yoga. I've been doing an event here, a retreat there, a workshop there, and then I thought, these people are still following me, or they like what I'm doing.
I just want you to know that you are doing so well. I love all the events that you have been organized.
Yeah.
2 events I went, and the last event I brought my friend with me, and she also said that, oh my God, it's so well organized. They are very thoughtful in everything that they do, and I think that's what I like.
Yeah.
You can feel the little touch that you put in your event, and
nice.
I guess that's why people are gonna come back.
And I do see that, and I also thank you for coming back again and also having me on your show, because I think that is important to me, that I'm giving something that people value, and I don't want to be just a yoga teacher. It's also not my goal. I don't teach at a yoga school. I do occasional classes, as a flex teacher. But for me, I want my what I'm trying to build and my business is more that it's about me, and that I inspire people with the choices that I make doing the things that I love. And the things that I love are stand-up paddleboarding, are yoga, are working out, is fitness, is health, is diet.
Yeah.
This is just who I am.
Yeah. And you don't have to, limit yourself in one box.
No.
That what I think also really important for people to be open-minded with. You don't have to put yourself in one box.
No.
You can be an entrepreneur, and then you can serve people with many services that you offer.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I am only just learning in the last year or so, that I just thought, actually, I yoga meditation teacher, yes, this is what I am, but I'm so much more, and I'm just showing myself if I want to do a collaboration with you, and I think that is giving me energy.
Yeah. Oh my God, I even get goosebumps by listening.
Like if you're sitting here, I feel your energy.
I got a goosebump because I really like when people, especially women, when they say like, I'm much more than this, because normally people, women a little bit like, we just afraid to show too much, because we're afraid that people, this girl needs too much.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure there's people out there that think that about me, but I've learned to really step into my power and to just say, this is my life, I want to be happy. And I just couldn't imagine myself going up until the age of 65 and then looking back and thinking, what did I do with my life? No, I want to do things that I like to do.
Oh.
Yeah.
Quote.
Yeah. This is the end.
As an entrepreneur, people go through a lot of stress, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a roller coaster journey. One day you're happy, the other day you're like, what I am doing with my business, and where are my clients, where are my customers, what I am doing right or wrong. Being a yoga and meditation instructor, how do you cope with all that emotion? Roller coaster.
Good.
Because I'm sure there's so many people out there facing the same issue, and maybe you can give some advice.
Definitely. Actually, in my meditation challenge that I host, I share how to deal with exactly that. Because I think in daily life, we have the ups and downs all the time. Even in one day, in 1 week, it fluctuates like this. The thing is that if we put our attention on the more negative thoughts, then the day will also feel more negative. So when we have with our businesses, for example, we have what we call a bad day, and I quote that because there is no such thing as really bad or really good.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden, one little bad thing becomes a whole bad day.
Yeah.
But if we take it out of perspective, which is what you do with meditation, you actually become aware of what are the thoughts that I'm thinking, why is this making me feel so bad? Then underneath, you might start to feel, this is because I have certain expectations about myself. This is actually because in myself I'm saying I'm not good enough. I am a failure. I have a fear of failure, for example, or you're a perfectionist. And out of that come all of these thoughts. those thoughts become a big thing, and they are actually not a real truth. Because if we look at it in the totality, you would say, I'm not a failure. It's just this one little thing that didn't go the way I expected. And if we look at it that way, we're actually always punishing ourselves with these negative thoughts.
Yeah.
And if we can use, that's what I use meditation for, is to ask myself, what is the underlying question to these thoughts? But it takes consciousness.
Yeah.
It takes coming back to the present moment and saying, actually, I'm not having such a bad day. I just had different expectations. But what did I manage?
Yeah.
Because you'll always see that you did more than you thought, but it was just different to it.
And do you have any like breathing technique that you can teach the audience really quickly?
Yeah.
Like just in like maybe 1 minute or something, that to calm ourselves, because entrepreneurs can have a lot of hustle side during the day.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that you're gonna have some technique about breath that you can share.
Definitely, I would share the box breathing, which is very simple. Imagine a box, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds, 4 seconds. That's how you follow your breath. So it's 4 seconds in, stop for 4 seconds, 4 seconds out, stop for 4 seconds. And then you repeat again for a couple of times.
Oh.
So it's very simple, but especially in stressful situations, box breathing, 4 seconds in, 4 seconds stop, 4 seconds out, 4 seconds stop.
Okay.
You can immediately change the patterns in your mind to come out of whatever stress you're in.
Wow, I like it. Thank you for sharing the tip with the audience.
You're welcome.
Last but not least, please share with us where we can find you.
Yes, it's www.marijke with IJ, which find it in the comments, Reed.com. And here you can find my upcoming events, which I do yoga outside, yoga online, meditation challenges, full moon with stand-up paddleboarding, and I have a lot more coming up, including really cool retreats next year. So.
And also don't forget to follow her on her Instagram to get a daily update and get some inspiration from her yoga and meditation.
Yeah.
I hope you guys have a lot of good information by listening to the story of Marika. Yeah, finally I pronounced her name right. And if you like this episode and this series, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And for now, I'm gonna say goodbye to all of you and see you at the next time. Bye guys!